Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends.
It doesn't.
We're so glad you could attend.
I hope it ends. I have to eat dinner.
So notice up in the upper corner here how it says side daydreams. This was something I didn't quite notice until after we were done, and a commenter lightly nudged me. You notice how those two... Actually, you know what? I can just go back to the menu and show this. I'll do that right now. You noticed how those...
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the menu button. Here it is. Give me back to the title. You notice how those first two routes we played kind of felt a little bit similar at points, like they shared some things going on? There's a reason for that. There are two sides to this, the Doomsday side and the Daydreams side. These two had their own thing, and then apparently there's an epilogue for their bits over here. This side looks like it's going to be Rio and Suou on this side, the Daydream side, which will look like they'll also have their own epilogue.
Interesting.
Yeah. Just for balance's sake, we're going to continue with what we were doing, but we will come back to these, which is good because off camera, I think we were talking about this, how everything we've been learning is really fascinating, but it didn't seem like it was building to a satisfying conclusion.
Like the final chapter was missing, and it seems like perhaps that is the case.
Right. And that because it looks like there is indeed something for us to go to after that. So oh gosh. Right. Oh. Oh, remember back in chapter 1 where we just had this? Oh, those halcyon days. Anyway, let's actually get into this sode real quick here. Just wanted to share that with people. Tin toy. Papa utes? Ute?
Is that Dad, where are you?
I believe so.
I don't know French.
You'll be treated like a special case. You should be glad. You're just abusing your authority, aren't you?
After what happened, Rio did the smart thing and allowed Samejima Satoru to take him before the police got involved.
I still don't trust Samejima here, but...
Officially, Rio was now under Samejima's supervision, and observe him he did.
You know some difficult terms. I'm impressed. What is this place? It is one of the rooms I have. Feel free to use it as you see fit. Don't worry if you dirty the walls. If you dirty the walls, I'll call a cleaner. I know a very good cleaner. Why would you lock me up here personally? What are you after? I won't tell you until you remember it by yourself. You said something similar last time. Have we actually met in the past? Who knows? Maybe you'll realize something while living here. Did he just straight up kidnap Rio? Like, wait, I know Samejima is actually a cop, but none of this seems above board. Did he just, like, straight up kidnap Rio and, like, hopefully you'll remember that you're MAMIYA. Right? And then I can splatter your brains on the wall, or probably. Wait, where's Midori? What happened to her? Don't worry. She's currently being kept in a special facility. Your mother is nowhere near her. You think I'm just gonna believe that? Let me see her right now. Oh? You do realize the least trustworthy person here is you, right? Brother or not, you committed domestic violence. Little Midori was quite terrified. Merely seeing your face might bring up bad memories. Anyway, I'll come again tomorrow. Let me see Midori. 199, 200.
The way Kikuchi Rio was focusing on nothing but exercise made him look like an actual prisoner. He walked over to the refrigerator and grabbed some mineral water.
All right, now for push-ups.
He sure doesn't look like he has much to do.
199, 200.
It hurts to look at him.
Oh, yeah.
No. Kikuchi reached into his bag and took out a letter. It was the one he'd received from Suou.
I ended up not giving him a reply. Didn't even have time to tell him about this. I wonder if he's still waiting for me. Forget it. It's not like he'd meet with someone like me ever again, huh?
He went and crushed the nice-looking letter in his hand.
And even if we did meet, I'd probably be unable to look him in the eye.
Ryo imagined those pure eyes filling with rejection and dread, then shook his head. He lost his trust and kindness. And all he got in exchange was a mystery man who'd given him warmth in the past and went on to vanish.
What a bother. Is Samejima gonna gaslight Ryo into thinking he was his father or something?
I don't know, but I'm wondering if it's going to be a thing where there'll be a swap again, where, like, we thought that Toma was the big negative influence in Minato's life, but it turned out to actually
Right.
been,
There was a lot more, like,
what's her
Toma was
name?
still the one to instill Mamiya, but, like, there was a lot more cross-pollination in their lives than we had expected.
And I'm wondering if it's going to be a similar thing here, that yes, Osamu was the one who got involved in Ryo's life, but in fact, Samejima was the one who stepped in and fucked him up as a person and traumatized him.
Yeah. Maybe Samejima was called as a cop at some point in their past.
Could be.
To, like, settle a domestic dispute or something, or...
That'd be certainly a point to get involved.
Oh, did we read that line?
No.
That he covered his face?
He covered his face with bony hands as the evening sun shone through the window and onto his back. No changes today either, huh? The day passed, and Kikuchi Ryo continued exercising like it had become routine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is not above board in any way. You're not... This isn't jail. You're not... This isn't a holding cell. Right? You've not been charged with it. All that's happened is someone who might or might not actually be a cop, to your knowledge, came and took you away and put you in here and locked you in here. That's just kidnapping, I think. I think that's just kidnapping.
I think it is.
He showed no intention of looking for a way to escape.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Almost as if he knew how meaningless it was.
I don't know, like, there are different reasons people in situations don't look for escape, right? Sometimes it is they don't think there is a way out, or sometimes it's in Ryo's case, I wonder if, like, because it's not like he's in a cell, he's in a locked apartment, but like an apartment, a room nonetheless. If he wanted out of there, that could easily happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are windows, smash a window.
Yep.
Right? I wonder if on some level he thinks he needs or should be here. And that's what's keeping him.
I mean, it kind of seems like it, right? When he was like, oh, that guy, that Suou guy, he'd never want to see me again and all of that. He seems to think that folks don't want him around.
Yeah, and he's convinced himself that, well, I mean, like last time he saw Midori, he did indeed frighten her. So, on some level, he must think either this is what he deserves or this is best for, or what he needs to do. Yeah.
But as he did his thing, he couldn't help but think about the crumpled up letter from Suou.
Ah, shit. I should just tear it up and, tear up this pretty little envelope he must have gotten from a specialty shop.
Ryo thought.
Eh.
Would he feel better if he tore it up? He shut his eyes tight, but instead of splitting the paper, he opened it.
Okay.
Ryo, thank you for your letter. You said you're jealous of me, when in truth, I'm the one who looks up to you.
Feeling a piercing pain in his chest, Ryo continued
Ow,
reading.
a piercing pain in my chest.
Get that looked at.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Who's there? What?
It is I, the narrator, who gives you helpful medical advice. It could turn out to be benign, but it might not. And, it's best to be ahead of these things, especially since you live somewhere that has a functioning healthcare system where you likely won't be billed into bankruptcy.
Do they not have affordable healthcare systems in narrator heaven?
I think we saw the healthcare system, right? The healthcare system is a panicked librarian learns how to do first aid.
True.
You woke me up and helped me at the sea a whole 2 times now. You're an amazing person. I'm sure you're far greater than you believe yourself to be, but I know you don't realize it yourself.
I mean, just look at where I ended up, right?
I want you to remember this much, though. No matter what you say, I will always believe in your noble kindness.
He's forceful even in text, huh?
P.S. I still can't forget the taste of the donut you shared with me. Let's go to the sea and eat more donuts there sometime. I want to know what a whole one is like.
He sure is cheeky.
He put more strength into the hands holding the letter.
I'd love some donuts too.
Feeling like I had seen his smile for the first time in a while, I couldn't help but break into a smile myself. I'm glad these two are doing their letter exchange.
What are you writing?
Samejima Satoru quite enjoyed coming to this apartment and being hit with a glare that could kill. Kikuchi Ryo's gaze was abnormally sharp. It carried a heat that brought excitement back into him every day he returned from work. This day, however, the glare never came, which he found lacking. He took a look and saw Kikuchi Ryo facing the desk.
Not telling.
As though expecting Samejima's question, the boy made distance between them.
I see. Won't you confiscate it? Did you want me to proofread it or something? Sadly, I have no interest in correcting your ideals. Right? He just wants you. I have no interest in correcting your ideals. I can make him worse.
That's literally just who Samejima is as a person. I could make him worse.
Exactly. That's exactly who he is.
That with a side of we live in a society. And I'm really sad that I forgot which episode that was in because I never went back to get the frame capture.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, you're right.
I gotta figure that out at some point.
I think, you were on a business trip or something? Something happened there. But we live in a society, and if we don't, I will make it one.
After a while, Ryo stopped writing. His side profile was the unique expression of a person pondering how best to express himself. Samejima found it familiar.
You're quite like him, you know. Like the children's writer I came to know in that pink house.
He thought.
Oh, shit. Did Osamu die? Osamu died. That's the body Ryo found. He doesn't remember it due to trauma.
That would make it all come together.
I bet that's what happened. Calling it now. That's my big swing. I'm going SK mode.
Hey, it's really fun. It's so many of them don't turn out right, but it's fun to
when you get the Hail Mary.
Right? And not that, it's just a way of even when the big swings are wrong, you're still trying to engage with the story, right? That's the point.
Mm.
That's why we're here at the book club.
Kikuchi Ryo pretended not to hear it.
When will we get to meet again? Oh, is that what you want? Of course. She's my precious sister. Oh, so that's how you had in mind.
Kikuchi Ryo quickly gave up on getting an answer and returned his gaze to the letter. Samejima wanted to see his name written in this edgy writing.
Should I pass it on? Huh? That letter to Suou Keito, I mean. What the? Why would you? I've been acquainted with him for quite a while. He is my boss's son. Right, we kind of forgot about what... He's a family friend is the part that stuck, but not son of my boss.
Mm-hmm.
So his boss is the head of the police department or head of his department in the police?
Apparently.
So police head honcho's kid is just wandering off unattended and waking up in the middle of the ocean. And do you expect me to believe that? You're free to believe what you want, but I may even bring you his responses. Well... This doesn't mean I believe you, but... Thank you.
The smile growing on Samejima's face contained trust like Kikuchi Ryo had never seen.
Hello? Starting today, your house arrest is officially over. Huh? What?
The first thing Samejima told him that day left Ryo speechless.
Wait, I was under arrest? You never read me my rights. Oh shit, we're not in America. Let's celebrate your release with a visit to the amusement park.
It's definitely Osamu's dad.
Oh.
The amusement park and everything, Samejima knows.
Yep. What about the letter? Well, it's not like I expected much from you, but start by taking me to Midori. Kikuchi Midori is there as well. A celebration must be fought after all. What's the catch? Keito and Osamu are there as well.
Or is he? No, I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it. That's my call.
Huh? Why? Because remember, even if he's dead, he can still show up because the times are...
Yep.
Remember, the years are...
But I also had the macabre thought flashing through my head. Keito and Osamu are there. Keito and Osamu are dead, but their remains are there. That sounds like a thing Samejima would be fine with.
Yeah, Samejima does have a habit of doing this kind of thing, doesn't he? Ah, you old bastard. Why?
I just realized it's so funny that when we get serial killer dude like this immediately, it's like, oh, so terrifying and creepy and awful. And then we play Of the Devil, and immediately I have the exact opposite reaction.
Well, spoilers for that game.
Wait, what?
Spoiler, because that's not, I guess it is kind of in the setup for it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about a serial killing, and I deliberately didn't say anything that would tell you what's up with it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know. I feel like as fictive devices, we have very strange relationships to serial killers.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a part of us that is very able, at least it's been my experience, and I think it's something that other people share, that it's very easy to kind of like see the notion of serial killing as so ostentatious and so far removed from reality that it's easy to kind of compartmentalize that.
Yep.
Which is why, like, I find it so much harder to see fictional depictions of characters who are, like, serially abusive, right? That, for some reason, that feels more real to me.
Yeah.
And it hits more gutturally. I don't know what that says about us or I won't say us as a society, because it's just me, but I feel like that's something other people might be able to relate to. I think that also leads to people forgetting what side of the line they're on with, like, true crime podcasting, but, you know. Anyway, what happened to Samejima's smile?
Samejima's smile grew wider.
You wish to see them, no? I get Osamu, but Suou has nothing to do with this. He most certainly does. What do you mean? You'll find out when you go there tomorrow, and do try to enjoy yourself. I will be watching.
Ah, Ryo.
Midori! Were you eating well? You weren't scared, were you?
I was just fine. What about you?
Yeah, I'm fine too.
His days were full of stress, and he could barely bring himself to eat. However, Midori's warmth completely dispersed his pent-up irritation.
So where has Midori been, then?
Midori, now in his arms, was in a far better state than he'd expected.
She's been with Osamu.
Osamu, over here.
All right, calling it now, young or old.
Young.
Again, it's Uncle Osamu. Oh.
Osamu.
Well, I'm glad you look fine. Enjoy your day, will ya?
Were you the one who looked after her?
I visited the facility once or twice. Anyway, you hungry? I'll buy you something.
I want some ice cream.
I still find it adorable that I know we pointed this out before that she barely fits above the.
Barely fits above the text box.
You must be this tall to have a speaking role.
What, in this cold? Well, don't blame me. Don't blame me if it makes your tummy hurt.
What the hell?
Chatting, the two walked off toward a stand. The fact that Midori was so close to him made Rio feel somewhat excluded.
She's just fine without me, huh?
As he made a dejected sigh, he heard some energetic footsteps coming up from behind him.
Rio!
Oh, Suou. Whoa!
I was worried sick. I'm so glad you're okay. I really am.
You're exaggerating.
You are quite well suited for amusement parks, Keito.
Mr. Samejima, thank you for inviting me.
That goes for you too, Rio.
Yay, Keito's here. Wanna have some ice cream?
That does look good. Maybe I'll have some. I did say you wouldn't be able to eat it all. Oh. Well, at least you have someone who doesn't mind eating the excess. Hello.
That look in Suo's eyes. Congratulations, you are the first person to activate disappointed mode.
The 5 people gathered in this clouded amusement park were a strange group. Let's have some fun, Rio. We're all here to cheer you up.
What? You realize these past few days have... Okay. All right.
The cheery music all around created a light dissonance.
Let's go, Keito. Time tends to fly when you're having fun.
You're right. Colorful light decorations illuminated their backs, further emphasizing the strange atmosphere. However, they were still able to enjoy their time.
Osamu, again! Let's go again!
Hell yeah, that wasn't nearly enough. Let's take the front this time. Midori and Arisugawa went on the roller coaster multiple times.
I love high places.
Samejima went on the high bike ride by himself.
Wee! Just because we're here doesn't mean I can't have fun.
Such carefree people. I feel embarrassed for expecting something.
I picked the wrong track for this OST here. The background music is all wrong.
I breathed heavily. Then I shifted my gaze to my friends, who'd finally met again.
I brought some warm tea. Have some.
Thanks. You came prepared, huh?
Kikuchi Ryo and Suou Keito were taking a break on a bench.
I was looking forward to this, so yeah, I even have some hand warmers. They should be a bit deeper in. Oh,
A bundle of papers fell out of the bag.
I'll get them. Are these all letters?
Kikuchi Ryo widened his eyes when he saw Keito's large body as he hid his face in embarrassment.
I got the reply from Mr. Samejima.
So he actually gave it to you, did he?
But I wasn't sure how to respond, so I figured I'd write multiple replies and pick the best one.
I also wrote a letter for you, even though I never got your response.
Really?
Just one, though.
Keito wagged his invisible tail as if it was all he'd been waiting for.
Wow, thank you so much.
Wow, it really looks like you're wagging your invisible tail. Have you been getting enough sleep?
Not recently.
Promise me you will from now on, alright?
Sure, I'll go get some takoyaki.
Keito smiled and ran off. Left by himself, Kikuchi waited for Keito to disappear from sight, then took out the letter he just got.
Sorry, Suou. Unlike you, I'm not the type who can wait.
Rio.
His handwriting sure is pretty. Like something straight out of a textbook. Was he working on his penmanship?
Rio wondered.
I remembered the morning I found you next to me. I'm really sorry for what I said back then. Did I seem like a rude young boy to you?
It's painfully similar to how I feel.
Rio thought.
I'm still very glad that you met me with a smile back then. Rio, the apple pie looked really good, so I got it too, and... Wait, why are you reading the letter?
Hey, Suou.
Yes?
Will you continue writing letters to me no matter what kind of person I am?
Rio knew how unfair that question was.
Of course.
It wasn't exactly nice to make him promise something without knowing all the details. It wasn't like him to put up an insurance in case Suou began rejecting him.
I see.
Even so, though it may have been brief, Suou's words gave Kikuchi Rio some peace of mind.
Midori, are you sleepy?
Oh, that play must have been tiring.
Alright, I'll carry you around.
Don't worry, I'll do it. Aren't you just as tired?
But...
What, you want me to carry you as well?
No, forget it.
Just tell me when you get sleepy.
You're too tall, Suou. What's wrong? Are you tired as well, Keito?
Oh, no, I'm not.
I wonder if my frail arms can carry you.
I'm not tired, okay?
This was a mirror house, but Suou was walking around while looking at his feet.
That's like cheating. That's... You go into... I guess maybe he doesn't want to be there. It's going to be like, if you're going to a mirror house, you want to have the experience of being disoriented, right?
He wanted to overwrite his current emotional state with fun memories.
Right, I want to go on the Ferris wheel. The view should be exceptional in the evening. Huh? Rio? Mr. Samejima?
He looked around, but couldn't see anything besides his own reflections.
Ferris wheels are way too slow. Let's go on a merry-go-round instead. Come on, Suou Keito, don't be a stranger.
Still carrying the now asleep Midori, Arisugawa widened the smile behind his glasses. His face as he did that was reflected by countless mirrors.
Quiet.
In a corner behind a wall of mirrors, Kikuchi Rio had his mouth shut by Samejima Satoru's large hand.
Don't make too much noise. Remember who's with Kikuchi Midori right now. Are we clear? I'll let you talk now.
You planned this? You're with Osamu?
Absolutely not. And I would appreciate not being grouped together with him.
Suddenly, Satoru pouted like a child, then cleared his throat to switch back to his usual self.
I don't intend to hurt you. I only wish to talk.
He grabbed Kikuchi Ryo's arm so gently it was almost uncomfortable.
I like Ferris wheels. Would you ride it with me?
He then pulled Rio by the wrist, taking him to the entrance.
Let's go, Rio. We'll find somewhere to talk afterwards. You might be thinking I'm dragging you to the Ferris wheel in order to talk alone, but no, I actually do just like Ferris wheels.
Kikuchi Rio had no choice but to go along with him.
Ferris wheels are really nice. So cozy and lovely.
Make some space, our knees are gonna touch.
Sorry, my legs are quite long.
Samejima then crossed his legs, closing the distance between their knees even further.
Why are we sitting on the same side? Oh, wait, no. I mean, like, he's like... Yeah, okay, never mind. I just did it physically, what he would be sitting like, and it didn't make any sense. So, because we're on a... You know what I mean.
With the metallic sound, the cabin began making a circle.
Oh, ah!
It soon left the ground and reached a height that would kill a person instantly should they fall out. There was nowhere to run.
Look around. The city is so distant, looking down at it makes it seem almost artificial.
Kikuchi Ryo was in no state to enjoy the view.
This is so nostalgic. Have you finally remembered?
There was a time limit to this torturous experience, as the Ferris wheel would make a turn in 10 odd minutes. All Ryo had to do was keep quiet and put up with it. Their cabin shook violently, and the Ferris wheel came to a halt. As Ryo's heartbeat accelerated, an announcement let them know that there was some sort of trouble.
Oh, motherfucker!
Oh, dear.
Wasn't a Ferris wheel where one of the previous weird scenes happened in Suo's route?
I believe so, yeah.
The oxygen in the air immediately felt heavy and difficult to breathe.
Is Ryo claustrophobic?
I don't know. He inhaled as hard as he could, but it didn't make breathing any easier. He couldn't open the window either. All he could do was endure the shaking while gulping down his saliva.
Are you okay?
Stop making it sound like this isn't your fault.
My, how scary. This happened at the perfect time. Now I can finally talk to you like myself.
Huh?
Within that unstable cabin, Samejima Satoru slowly stood up.
His face looks like a drama mask now.
It does. He's got like the perfect curve of the smile for that.
Yeah.
The metallic ceiling made a disquieting sound.
Hey, the hell are you?
I'm sorry, I just wanted to see you from up close.
Ryo felt barely alive, as if the ground itself had been pulled from under him. His large bent body and long arms placed him in a twofold trap.
You cannot escape now.
Ryo wanted to shout that he knew that all too well.
I will have you remember what happened in 2003.
He wanted to run.
I will tell you about the MAMIYA within you.
But he wasn't allowed to run.
Well, that's upsetting. The year of his death, 2003.
The nail that sticks out gets hammered in, but stick out enough and it becomes the standard. That is what I had finally realized. Odd as it was, after eating MAMIYA's flesh that day, I acquired a leading position in my department. Everyone said they wanted to become like Superintendent Samejima, that he had charisma. Charisma was, at its core, a charm that common people lacked. We are creatures biologically attracted to things we do not have.
Samejima is starting his fucking pickup artist arc. What? New Samejima outfit? Hold on. Got the trench coat. Nice. Same color scheme.
Is he wearing a tactile neck under a suit and tie?
I think he's got a tactile neck, then a dress shirt, then a sweater vest, then a trench coat. I do think he's got... Wow.
To be fair, I mean, that's a good layering approach for a northern winter. Like...
Yeah, but
I have
we're not
worn sillier combinations.
But we're not in a northern winter. We're in Tokyo? Right?
I don't recall.
I don't recall.
No.
Oh, right.
That was what I gained from that day's madness, and that was it. I decided to curse society, but thanks to MAMIYA, I was able to adjust it and keep it in the palm of my hand. Such irony. Looking back, there was plenty of that ever since I'd met MAMIYA.
Was everything that day happened caused by the karma surrounding Mamiya? Perhaps. And this particular memory was no different. A body had been found at a construction site. It belonged to Masakai Hashida, a 64-year-old factory worker. I think we've heard that name before.
Masaki Hashida? I don't know.
Masaki Hashida. I feel like we've heard that name before because we've seen at least one name in this game where I'm like, huh, that's Hashida, and I recognize Hashida because I'm primed to recognize that name. So I feel like this is the second time this has come up. I see, and the first witness is?
It's,
a child?
Tiny Rio!
Oh my god. You look like such a small little delinquent. I love you. Do you want to keep narrating even though it's...
Sure. The moment Satoru saw the child, Kikuchi Rio, his muscles tensed up. As he observed them and their eyes met, Satoru was assailed by an intense feeling of deja vu.
I was going to say, you know who that haircut and that general vibe kind of feels familiar to?
Yep. It was the second time. Twice now have different sensations touched him simultaneously. He'd used his senses for anything off to solve cases many times by now. However, this was the first time he'd felt two off feelings with different causes from the same person. And it was just a boy. Satoru realized that he was feeling something personal, something unrelated to the case about this child. He felt like he had to realize what it was, otherwise he'd regret it for the rest of his life. The rest of this life.
Mamiya.
He didn't know what he was saying. After all, Mamiya had returned to the Trichiliocosm.
Huh? You know Mamiya?
The question made his heart freeze over.
I do, yes. What is your relationship with Mamiya?
Satoru kept himself in control. That could have easily been the name of a friend at school.
Mamiya is, someone important to me.
A sweet metallic sound could be heard from under the collar of the boy's somewhat oversized clothes.
Mamiya, help me.
This nostalgic atmosphere was familiar to Satoru. He could almost smell the air of the house where they shared their memories of Mamiya in 1999.
Oh, sorry, but that one was an accident. Yes, I know of Mamiya too.
No good. Satoru recognized that this feeling was no good. Satoru. There was no way he could see Mamiya in this child.
Thank you for your cooperation, Kikuchi Rio. Are you tired?
No, I'm okay.
After questioning the boy and taking his fingerprints just in case, Samejima gave him some apple juice. This boy was an odd one. Despite finding a corpse, he'd remained calm as he reported it and seemed unaffected even now.
I'm dissociating. I'm gonna forget all about this in a few years. Just wait until I get into therapy.
Funny how that happens.
What? See traumatic things as a child, dissociate and try to not... I mean, I guess on some level that's got to be a survival mechanism, right?
Yep.
Because, dear God, that should be a horrifying experience.
There were no signs that he'd cried, nor any tells of an acute stress disorder. Then again, perhaps he wasn't showing any symptoms due to being in a state of shock. Satoru felt that he had to see how he would progress and treat him accordingly.
I've contacted your address several times now, but no one appears to be home just yet.
Oh, that's fine.
It was likely that this child was being subjected to something close to domestic violence.
You don't have to tell her about this. If you interrupt her at her job, it's gonna cause rumors and I'll get yelled at.
Despite being so young, he seemed to understand that if someone was questioned by the police, it could lead to people gossiping about it. The proof was in the fact that he was talking quietly and hiding his words. Hiding his wounds.
Wounds, yep. I see. Anyway, here is your reward as the first witness. Normally I would give this to your guardian, but if they're not here, it just has to go to you.
It was just a few thousand yen, but that was a lot to a child his age.
As a rule, first witnesses have to be visited several times following their initial report. Would you mind meeting with me again?
As long as you don't come to my house.
Are you familiar with the shrine grounds? I propose we meet there next weekend.
Definitely not police procedure.
No,
Definitely
not at all.
convincing an unattended child to meet with him at an isolated location.
Right? And let us not forget what we come to learn from our from the last time Samajima had a root. Samajima is not normal about children.
Yep.
I don't know if it extends to the same way that it did with Niigaki, but he is not normal about children. And we shall continue our talk about Mamiya as well.
Huh?
The shine in his large eyes gave Satoru his first heartache in a while.
Oh, yes.
The moment he came back home, Satoru collapsed on the sofa and took a deep breath.
Mamiya is back. Really? I thought you just said that that couldn't have been earlier.
Yeah?
Is he kind of like lying to himself right now?
I don't know.
Many days had passed since they ate the flesh and swore to raise a new Mamiya. He was the only one unable to find a child he could turn into Mamiya.
No doubt, because unlike theirs, my Mamiya had the appearance of a child.
It wasn't that he didn't have any motivation or investment. He simply couldn't find a child worthy of being his Mamiya. But that one, Kikuchi Ryo,
He is Mamiya. Without me having to instill Mamiya in him. So, which means his first thought wasn't Suou Keito? Huh. Do you want to narrate?
Samejima's urge to kill had subsided after he consumed Mamiya's flesh.
Ew, gross.
He was satisfied with just having his dear Mamiya inside him.
Rabbits. 3 of them.
Perhaps they are kept on these grounds. Did you know that rabbits are counted as birds sometimes?
What? Birds?
Is this going to be the rabbit duck image thing?
I don't know.
Yes, indeed.
Why? They don't have feathers or nothing.
Indeed, they don't. Apparently in the past, monks of temples could not eat beast meat. That's why they decided that rabbits are birds and ate them. Or so the theory goes, anyway.
What is it about declaring a rabbit to not be a regular mammal for religious reasons? Because this is definitely at least the second time I've
I was
heard
going to
that.
say, I feel like you brought a story like this up at one.
Yeah, wasn't it rabbits for Lent or something?
Right. Oh, was that it?
What was it?
Some of it has to be like just, religious rules are not necessarily made with the particulars of living with a specific area in mind, right? And sometimes living in a specific area.
The rabbits one is not real. It's a myth that rabbits were, but other things like beavers have been granted such status.
Okay.
So I am mixing up rabbits for getting declared fish for religious reasons with other things. But if I had a
was it beavers or fish?
Yeah. But it's fun how that's almost a cultural constant. You have to have rules about what foods you can eat and not eat for sacred reasons, and then you have to make exceptions to your own rules.
Yep.
If there's 2 things humans love, it's making a lot of rules and then breaking those rules.
Right?
They eat rabbits. How sad.
You eat cows and pigs yourself, do you not? Why do you feel that way about rabbits?
Oh, you're right. I wonder why.
Is it because they're cute? How strange, for all you know, the rabbits may want you to eat them.
Huh? What? I don't think that makes sense evolutionarily. Feels like anything that tried that would immediately be a dead end.
There's a story that goes like this. A long, long time ago, there was a rabbit, a fox, and a monkey. One day the three were gathering food for a tired elder. The monkey brought a fruit, the fox caught a fish, but the rabbit did not bring anything. That was when the rabbit said, "Eat me," and jumped into the fire, giving itself to the elder.
A white rabbit went past Samejima right as he finished the story.
It's a moving tale. A creature burned itself for the sake of letting the elder live.
I wouldn't have died if it didn't feel like saving the elder, though.
No, the rabbit had no other choice. If it didn't help the elder, it would have regretted it for the rest of its life.
Huh? Is that worse than death?
Most likely. I wouldn't know. I've never regretted a thing.
Is he trying to turn Rio into the rabbit here?
Because what is it he's actually trying? What's the actual moral here? Because what is it? Creature burned itself for the sake of letting the elder live. Is that it? Feels like the rabbit could have just gotten something and didn't.
Got good.
No, really. Like the other creatures had time to gather food, and the rabbit just didn't. Is it like in this house we eat our mistakes? What is actually meant to be the takeaway here?
Kikuchi Rio balled his small hands into fists and stopped talking.
Although it's clear that what Samejima wants Rio to take away is sacrificing yourself for the sake of others is the noblest thing you can do. And you'll regret not doing it if you have the opportunity. Does that feel right?
I don't know. He didn't start with anything like that. He started with maybe the rabbits want to be eaten.
Yeah, the
Which
rabbits
seems like a rather different point.
want to be eaten. Right, that's different. Because that we do get explicitly what the rabbits... yeah, you're right. That wasn't in the story, but that is kind of what he said that led to that.
Satoru felt that he might have scared him a little and tried to make it better.
There's a continuation to the story that says the elder was actually a god. The god took pity upon the rabbit and put its image on the moon as an example for everyone else. And that is why there is a rabbit living on the moon.
So the rabbit was happy because it regretted nothing and could become an example to others?
I think so, yes.
Regretted nothing and could become an example to others. What a takeaway. Regret nothing, become an example to others. Great. I feel like those are two things that seem innocuous enough, and then when you put them together, something feels sinister there.
I believe this rabbit is a lot like Mamiya. He also compared himself to the moon quite often.
He looked up at the moon in the pale sky.
Curse you, damn moon. I will destroy you one day.
The lunar seas that were said to look like a rabbit had melted into the blue atmosphere, and their outline was vague.
Oh, is that what they mean, rabbit in the moon? I don't think I've ever... Huh. I should look at the near side of the moon again. See if I can see a rabbit in it.
Mamiya is the monkey that gave the fruit. He's alive and always there.
The boy put his hand on his chest, causing the chain peeking through his clothes to gleam and shine.
So that's what that jangling is. It's his chain. What is his chain?
The dog tags that Osamu gave him.
The dog tags that Osamu gave him. Right. So how is he seeing Uncle Osamu and... Oh, God, that's... Oh, wait, all right, that's only... This is 2003. This isn't the 1999, but whatever.
That's a nice accessory you have there.
I got it from Mamiya.
May I take a look at it?
It must have made him happy to be able to show it off. Rio removed his necklace with a smile on his face.
This is a dog tag. It's used to tag dogs.
It was a simple one. The only text carved on it was Rio.
Is that why Rio was a dog in the... back in the first chapter?
I don't know.
Was it just the dog tags?
Satoru felt like he'd seen something like this before.
Mamiya had one, and when I said I liked it, he made one for me too.
A strange premonition hit Satoru like a bolt of lightning. He suddenly had trouble breathing.
Satoru?
Was this child actually Mamiya because someone had already turned him into Mamiya?
Could you let me meet your Mamiya?
Mamiya!
So there is slightly older Osamu sprite.
Wait. This is Osamu in 1999. So this is slightly older.
Yeah. This is later than 99.
Later than 99, even though the 99 one is the one we saw in the previous scene. Because the timelines are mixed, don't worry about it. Wow. What a comfy jacket you got there.
Oh, Rio, you said you wanted me to meet someone.
Oh, yes. I indeed know your Mamiya, Rio.
The three headed to a nearby park in complete silence.
Meanwhile, Osamu's like, I got dibs, man. I got dibs.
Dibs do not qualify in matters of the heart.
Two adult men and a child. What would onlookers think if they saw them?
Two dads.
This was Satoru's first time meeting Arisugawa since that day. The swamp-like taste of the years 1999 and 2000 spread across his mouth.
Mamiya!
Try not to trip.
Oh,
He had aged since their last encounter.
no.
Arisugawa had become an adult you could rely on, like a father. I didn't expect to meet you through Rio. It's like that time Mamiya pulled us under Tokyo Tower.
Mamiya. So you really are the one who instilled Mamiya in Rio.
Kikuchi Rio was playing with sand in an abandoned piece of playground
Yay!
equipment.
Sand!
I was quite surprised. You see, when I looked at Kikuchi Rio, I felt like I saw Mamiya himself. If you're the one responsible, it would explain everything.
So, you also saw Rio as Mamiya.
Yes, unmistakably.
Thanks.
Oh, there's that smile.
You sound happy.
Because I am. My work was conveyed as intended.
I know that is something you have trouble with.
Satoru had always hated the mocking smile this man would often make.
Remember, it's also again these two getting together and having conversations when everything we know about them for the Pink House is them hating one another, right?
Yep.
I created that Mamiya after lots and lots of polishing.
Weren't you unable to write stories?
After putting down the pen in 2000, I considered what it was that Mamiya needed. But I'm glad I got you to confirm it. If you think that's Mamiya, then Niigaki and Bach would likely feel the same way. I finally made it this far. He looked up at the windy sky. Satoru found the expression scary.
And how far are you planning to go?
The man turned around and smiled with a dirty grin. Who knows? Maybe I should use Rio as the idol in my new religion.
I understand now the child is the Mamiya you created. However, back when I looked at him, I felt there was another thing off about him.
It was a common type of deja vu, unrelated to any yearning.
You can fit so many Mamiya inside this small child.
It was about the dog tag Kikuchi Rio showed off.
He is similar to the youth I met at Keito's house in 1999.
Keito's house in 1999. So
Keito's-
Satoru did. Oh. Interesting.
Walk me through it. What are you thinking?
Similar to the youth I met. So, Keito did meet somebody like Ryo. It happened in 99, but not 2012.
Which matches up with what we saw in the weird story we saw in chapter 1, I guess. If it was someone like Ryo, but not Ryo.
Yeah.
Similar to the youth I met at Keito's house. And that also means Keito was around in 1999.
I mean, he must have been.
He must, I mean, obviously we know that. Because he dies in 2003. Wait, this is the year he dies.
Huh. Wait, is this 2003 right now?
Yeah.
It is, you're right. Funny that.
It's also the year, what? Hashida, what's his name, died?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Just gonna... I don't know quite what to do with that, so I'm just gonna go put it there on the desk and just kind of admire it from a few different angles and then move on.
In the December of 1999, he was left to take care of his boss's son. MAMIYA had vanished shortly after that, so Satoru's memories of him weren't particularly vivid, yet...
Please help Suou.
Suou Keito was a sleepwalker.
I can't protect him.
That man, shaking desperately as he pled, wasn't that Kikuchi Ryo himself?
That was Kikuchi Ryo in 1990, because the years are merged again. Oh, God. What weird time loop shenanigans have occurred here?
Is Samejima going to be the only one sociopathic enough to recognize that he's in a story and that the timelines are fucked up?
Wow, that would be great.
Everybody else is conventionally normal enough to go along with everyday life, and Samejima is the only one cracked enough to actually consider and then believe in the idea.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, Samejima, what are you up to, man?
Due to his particular line of work, Satoru was not one to mistake people for others.
On a similar note, I never have any doubts that I am not a character in a story, because my life is so unbelievably boring.
Yeah, the book about me wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be terrible in the sense of like traumatic either, but it wouldn't be fun. There's just not like interesting story beats and highlights.
Right. And even as like a side character, I don't feel like I would add anything necessarily. Right? So I feel pretty confident, all things considered, that I am not the subject or even a participant in a greater narrative.
Hey!
Normally, one would assume they were siblings or parent and child, yet he couldn't bring himself to dismiss the possibility that they were the same person.
Yeah, you're right. Satoru was the only person who could... But then, who was child?
The Count of Saint Germain, who appeared in various times.
Is that what that is? I only know about Saint Germain because of Symphogear. That makes him seem more like MAMIYA.
As he reclined on a sofa, he was overtaken by a mix of wonder and curiosity.
How would Keito react if he saw him? Haven't talked to him since he told me he bought a new phone.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense, because Keito would be like a young adult right now. Ah!
Look, Mr. Samejima, I finally got a phone.
Ah! How does he feel even taller?
It would be very funny if in the older sprites he got tall enough that his head fully went off the top of the
He got
screen.
even
You
taller
had to
in his
pan
head.
up.
Or even it's like the one Undertale dog whose head keeps going up and then
and then
comes back
loops around. That one was a visual gag for the ages, really.
That truly was one of the Undertale moments of all time. Anyway, there's your Photoshop for this episode, honey.
Let's exchange numbers then. I can even send you an email. Would it interest you if I told you about this? No, that is no good. Showing that child to him could make his sleepwalking flare up again. Or maybe I'm worrying too much.
So then, what does Samejima think about suddenly young again Suou Keito in 2020? Because in 2003, he's clearly saying Keito continued, but Keito dies. So somehow he's seeing Keito still around, and he's got to be like, okay, hold on, something's wrong here. A lot of things happened today. I should probably go to sleep.
Satoru hoped he could meet Mamiya again in his dreams.
I don't need dreams. I can already meet him anytime I want. Take that, narration. Mamiya exists in this world as Kikuchi Ryo.
Knowing that Kikuchi Ryo was a Mamiya created by Arisugawa Osamu, Satoru couldn't keep himself from wanting to meet him.
Isn't that kind of like admitting defeat and conceding to one of your opponents in your little Instill Mamiya match?
I mean, was it a match?
It wasn't a match, it was an agreement. So why is Arisugawa like, hey, what about you, huh? What have you done? Or was it not like we're all going to do this to help bring mummies through, but we're all going to like, this is to give ourselves all motivation? I'm trying to pin down the very specific and narrowly defined motivations of an event where 4 adults ate someone's flesh. I think maybe I need to step back and consider what I'm doing.
Thus, he insisted that they continued meeting at the shrine grounds on his days off. Talking to him made Satoru miss that honeymoon period from the end of the century. It also made him wish that this boy, too, was immortal.
Oh, 1 rabbit.
He could pierce his heart with a blade, tear his limbs off.
2 rabbits.
He could close his screaming mouth as he drowned him in the bath.
3 rabbits. Satoru?
Oh, yes, sorry. I was just thinking about child murder again.
You tend to do that a lot. That might not be healthy. You were kind of spacing out, buddy.
Oh, I was just looking at the dried leaves. What am I thinking?
Satoru thought.
Remember your pride as someone who plays by the rules.
Still, if all his wishes could come true...
Right, remember that's how he conceives of the social mores of interaction with other people, is like a rules for a game board, right? No. I will surely go back to normal once I meet Keito.
He took out the phone he kept for private calls and clicked on his name in the contact list. Perhaps he had a lecture and couldn't answer. Just as Satoru was thinking of leaving a message. Hello? A pit opened in his stomach.
You are not Keito, are you?
Did he have the wrong number, or did it belong to someone else now? Satoru hoped, begged that this was the case, but...
Huh? What?
There was only one person in the world.
What'd they say, Ed?
Who called him by that crude name.
Arisugawa?
He remained calm, putting on a businesslike demeanor.
What happened to Keito?
And he hoped that this was unrelated.
ED?
Hey, Edie.
Tell me.
He tried to keep his cool, restraining his emotions.
Oh, I like this track. Hold on. This is very like, we're gonna crack the case kind of music. I like it.
Is Ryo a proper Mamiya? Why would he ask that now of all times? Is it pleasant to be with him? It felt as though he could read his mind, but how?
Just put Keito on the phone or tell me if he's alright.
Good to know. Good to know what? Satoru had no idea what was happening there.
Suou was with me.
That's...
Oh, sorry.
Suo's with me. His life is in my hands. He's my hostage, basically. Get it?
I failed. He's far more composed than I am.
Satoru thought.
What do you want?
First, there's something I gotta confirm. Who's more important to you, Suou or Mamiya?
Why would he ask that?
He thought of the young man with the bright smile and that dancing sky-blue hair. He was like a mythical creature you could trust with your last ray of hope. Satoru placed him on one side of the scale and the grand moon on the other.
MAMIYA. Shouldn't that be obvious?
Yeah, I suppose it is. Suou wasn't enough to outweigh it. I'll give you a location. I want you to come here immediately and don't tell anyone else about this.
Very well.
Pure madness, along with a shadow he'd sworn would never fall on him again, began to overtake him.
Drop me a Oh, wait, nope, we can't do that yet. Oh!
We've seen this background in that previous
Yep.
scene where stuff went bad.
Yeah, we have. Keito, you're...
Upon seeing the youth, all covered in bruises and unconscious, the usually poker-faced man panicked.
Youth? He's like... Oh, I guess he's like 19 now. Because he was still younger, but this is still 4 years later, right? He was 15 or so he's a little bit younger than the rest of the cast. But he is now 4 years older. Yeah, so he's like 19, I guess. What do you have against him?
The sheer gall to even ask that. Aren't you the one who secretly told him about MAMIYA?
MAMIYA? You know the relationship between him and Kikuchi Ryo.
Huh? No, Ryo's got nothing to do with... What are you talking about? I feel like we never really had a proper conversation in 1999. Looks like in 2003 we'll have to face each other and talk. The two briefly shared their thoughts.
And anyway, that's why I can't really get into modern poetry.
This is such bullshit. Is this layered structure supposed to be our sin and punishment?
Don't yada yada their conversation.
I had no choice but to remain silent and watch things unfold. This was a recollection, neither 1999 nor 2012, and I had no means of intervening as a spectator. The karma surrounding them is far too complex. Call me MAMIYA. Arisugawa Osamu instilled his MAMIYA in Kikuchi Ryo.
I see hope in you.
Samejima Satoru found selfish peace in Suou Keito's existence. MAMIYA is mine. Arisugawa Osamu was unable to tolerate Suou Keito, who knew a MAMIYA other than the ones he'd created.
But then, who is that child?
Samejima Satoru, who believed that the youth who'd appeared next to Suou Keito in 1999 was Kikuchi Ryo. The warped gears of fate slotted into place and began making a satisfying sound as they moved.
What do you intend to do?
Samejima looked down at the sky-blue hair of the bloodied unconscious youth. He didn't show it, but he was doing his best to keep himself from crying. Even this was all predestined. The flesh beyond the flowing blood invited the inhabitants of the pink house. Do we still have the house you can see Tokyo Tower from?
No, I already sold it. I bought a villa in the mountains. It's quiet and has soundproofing, which is important to me. Why are you asking that? Is that there's nothing to gain from harming him anymore.
To be fair, if I bought a villa, I'd want it to have soundproofing, but not for that reason.
Right, because we have a big-ass recording set up here, and
Yeah.
I live in constant fear that we're going to get a call from our neighbors telling us we're louder than we think.
Yep. I mean, I know we must be, because I can hear them when they're loud, so...
Yeah, but I can hear them when they're, like, shouting and raising their voices.
True.
But
There was no stopping them. What do you mean? This ain't nearly enough. He still didn't say anything I wanted to hear. I won't let him get away.
And you will use my house for it.
You like sharing your places, don't you? Especially if it's 4 of us.
Huh?
The cells were yearning. You should live there too. With Kikuchi Ryo, I mean. You want a life like before, and you want it bad, don't you? We saw right through him. He was seen right through. No one could escape the truths. It all converged upon this conclusion.
Oh, I hate you so much.
What a coincidence. Me too. The first thing Suou Keito saw upon waking up was a dusty floor. When he took a breath, the sandy air made him scowl. Where is this?
God, I'm still not used to see. It feels like his neck could just get longer at any moment.
When he tried to move, he realized his arms and legs were bound. Before he could fully understand his situation, he saw the shoes belonging to the author he so respected, Arisugawa. Hey there, I see you're awake. Mr. Arisugawa, why are you doing this? Don't worry, I'll let you go right away. All you gotta do is say one thing. Pretty simple, huh? Just say you have nothing to do with Mamiya. Huh? Wait, but Mamiya is a close friend I've known for a long time. He's very important to... Before he could finish, the sole of a shoe was on his head. That's not right, is it? You didn't know anything about any Mamiya, right? No. Ah! This time, he was kicked in the back of his thigh, sending him flying and hurting so much that his throat became stiff. If I decide to do something, I see it through to the end. I'll keep at this until you correct yourself. I won't stop even if you stop breathing. Poor thing, you must be thirsty. Let's get you some water.
Good morning, Rio.
Satoru? Where are we?
Listen well. From now on, you will undergo training to truly become Mamiya.
What? What do you mean?
Don't worry, it's nothing difficult.
Samejima loudly released a rabbit on the floor.
A rabbit? Oh wait, that looks sick. We gotta feed it.
Kill and prepare the rabbit.
Huh?
Should be an easy task for Mamiya, no?
What are you saying? No, take me back home.
Kikuchi tried to stand up and run, but Samejima's long, slender leg was in his way.
You have no right to refuse. What would you do back home anyway? There is no one who will protect you.
No, Mamiya, Osamu, help!
Rely on me, not on him.
Kikuchi threw a tantrum and tried to run away, but Samejima grabbed his tiny body from behind.
No, stop!
Oh dear. Don't be so feisty.
He groaned in pain within his tight grip, then stopped struggling as he lost the strength to do so. While still in pain, his eyes met the twitching rabbits.
You cannot escape anyway.
Within the blood vessels of its transparent ears, he saw shared destiny.
You are weak and unfit for society. You will never be able to reach an understanding with others through words. The only type of communication you can manage is a simple one. It is a very primal method indeed. Oh, you mustn't look away. Look closely, and remember this fact. Words are utterly powerless against violence. Huh. Okay. Thanks, buddy. That's... both explains a lot and raises so many questions. I brought you food. Eat. You will die if you don't.
On the floor, he placed a roast beef-like meat covered in a reddish-brown sauce.
I will leave it here.
Samejima left the room and some time passed. Ryo could only fight his hunger for a few hours after that. He couldn't look away from the meat. He took it in his hands and began eating the appetizing food. Hunger was the greatest spice, and the joy he gained from this meal was one rarely experienced.
Oh, you ate it. Was it good? You seem to have enjoyed it. Say, Rio, whose meat do you think that was?
Oh, why?
Huh?
See you until the next meal.
That question resounded in his head.
For all you know, the rabbits may want you to eat them.
He puked a little in the edge of the room.
Ugh.
Listlessness filled every inch of this space. Showing resistance was an option, but when people realized it was futile, they simply gave up. It was far easier to silently accept the state of things. Resistance was tiring. It was better to just stay in this room.
I mustn't run. I can't run.
Kikuchi Ryo, what are you saying? Of course you can run. I really want to tear out this page and delete those words. Watching something so terrible unfold while being unable to do a thing is beyond irritating. If only someone could save you. Even so, Suou Keito refused to give up and continued to crawl with his bound limbs. I need to get away from here as soon as possible. What? Is someone there?
What? Who's there?
The voice seemed to belong to a scared child. Though surprised, Keito tried to remain calm. Are you locked in here too? Run away with me. Yeah, run away with him.
I won't run.
Why? Why, Kikuchi Ryo?
Because I gotta become MAMIYA.
What did the people in this place think MAMIYA was? What's your name?
Rio.
For a moment, there was a strange sound akin to scratching ice. Rio? I'm Suou Keito, just remember that. I'll do what I can to save at least you. You're keeping a child here as well, aren't you? Oh, you saw him. What's with him? I told him he must become MAMIYA. What are you people doing here? Want to meet him? Huh?
Huh?
The door opened like it was nothing. The time that flowed between them was oddly dense. They stopped breathing, and it felt as if each blink carried the dew of several light years.
I really like that turn of phrase.
It all felt so precious and difficult to part with. They almost wanted for this to last forever.
Keito.
That youthful voice brought him back to his senses. Listen, Rio, this is a friend who's gonna live with you from now on.
Huh?
The voice behind Keito made the child in front of him turn stiff as a statue.
Mr. Arisugawa, what are you...
Mr. Arisugawa, what are you...
My bad.
What was the smell of iron coming off of the door? What were they making this child do here in this blood-soaked room?
At least it was the meat he killed. I thought they were giving him Suou
Suou
Keito's meat.
Keito meat.
That's kind of what I assumed.
Oh, you've already met.
A clear voice could be heard within the darkness, one that seemed to almost crawl on the ground. Samejima? That familiar face briefly filled him with relief, but then Keito became alert. Why are you here?
Kate,
Why is an officer involved in something like this?
that's the part that got you angry.
His body trembled with boiling anger. You think this is okay? The chagrin welling up inside him made Keito cry, but he did his best to hold back the tears. This seemed to hit Samejima hard.
Of course not.
Then why are you...
I don't believe this is an emotion you can understand, but I've always been scared of deviating from societal norms. I didn't become an officer for the justice that you believe in. I did it because I was a coward who could only ever choose this role. I felt comfortable with a position that involved hating evil and arresting the guilty. It put me at ease. But some things are worth throwing all of that away for.
Such as? Samejima placed a hand on the child's shoulder and smiled.
I cannot give up on MAMIYA. Even if I lose everything, I want to see that ominous rainbow once again.
Upon waking, he felt the warmth of a child next to him.
Oh, Keito, you were unconscious. Are you all right?
Kikuchi Ryo was huddling up to him in a way so as not to flare up the wounds he received from Arisugawa. Yeah, I am. He gently put his hand on the boy's, careful not to scare the child. It was small and cold. When he noticed the light shaking in Keito's hand, he gently held it back.
Why are you so polite with me?
Huh?
You're an adult, so it's kind of strange.
Good point. To be honest, I'm not sure myself. Despite the fatigue, the nostalgia made him smile. It just feels right to talk to you that way.
Oh.
Within its aftertaste, he gathered his resolve. Ryo, let's run away from here, okay? The bewilderment made his honey-colored eyes quiver.
No.
He slowly refused.
I won't run.
His strange fixation on that felt off to Keito. But why?
There's no point. They'll catch us anyway.
But that's...
There's no point. No matter how much I didn't want it, the rabbit still died. It's because of me. It died by my hands.
Sweat gathered on his back. The reek of blood he'd smelled upon coming into this room was caused by animal blood. Layers upon layers of brainwashing and violence had stripped the boy of his will to run. I'm here too.
You?
We might be able to run away if we're together. He held the child's shoulders tight. Listen, Ryo, please don't give up. His amber eyes shifted from the color of fatigue to bewilderment. You shouldn't be in a place like this.
Say what you will about Suou Keito's strange idealism about things, but it can be helpful in a place like this to have the moral clarity to say to a child, no, this is fucked up and wrong. Yep. No, this is all bad.
Keito couldn't pour much strength into his arms, but he brought the boy close regardless. You shouldn't become the MAMIYA they want you to be. To convey his feelings and warmth, he pulled the boy into a weak embrace. This might have been a selfish kind of justice, but he hoped that it would make his life at least a little bit better.
What do you do if you get out of here?
Well... There were many things he wanted to do. He wanted to eat a lot and to sleep in a safe and clean bed. He wanted to turn Arisugawa and Samejima into the police and have them punished. And he wanted to see his parents. However, he felt that none of these would help lift the boy's spirits. Oh, yeah, I'll write letters.
Letters?
Yes, to you.
Why?
Because I don't want you to hate the world.
Oh.
Those words came from the heart. I want you to know that this world is full of kindness, warmth, and all kinds of wonderful things. I'll travel across the world and discover all the fun things I can. I'll tell you about them in my letter and ask you to tell me about yours.
Such as?
On just about the other side of this planet, there's a rainbow-colored mountain.
Candy Mountain? Really?
Candy Mountain, Rio. It's in a country called Peru. Getting up the mountain is hard, but the view is very beautiful. I'll take a photo of it someday and send it to you.
I want to see it.
I knew you would. There are so many fun things everywhere.
I wonder if I can write a good reply.
Don't worry, it doesn't have to be good.
How did I never pick up on the huge friction between Ryo feeling like his only way he can communicate is through violence, and then taking the time to intentionally write letters with Keito? How did I never pick up on that? I am so slow on the cupcake. Can we also talk about the particular kind of sociopathy it takes to match your dress shirt with your hair color? Suou Keito, you are mostly a good cinnamon bun, but there are some crimes that can never be forgiven.
Right.
Let's share what's happening to us, even if we're distant. We'll tell each other that everything's all right, and confirm that both of us are alive. But for that to happen, we need to get away from here.
Okay.
By the time the two became tired and fell asleep, the door opened up and light flooded in. Keep quiet, Ryo's sleeping. Whoa, playing Papa Bear, huh? I think I'm gonna cry. I won't let you have your way. Why do you think we put you in the same room even though you could escape? You must have realized it by now, right? This is the room where animals are killed and prepared. The room where Ryo will become the perfect MAMIYA. Keito turned pale. He understood what would happen here. He wished he hadn't, but now he understood what Kikuchi Ryo would do to him. You! His body trembled with fear and anger as his teeth continued to chatter. Have you even thought about the mental strain that would put on him?
Killing me is something that shouldn't even be attempted by a normal adult, let alone a child.
Arisugawa made a bitter scowl and stopped Keito from speaking. For a soon-to-be corpse, you sure are loud.
Keito?
Ryo! You should be honored, Suou Keito. With your death, Kikuchi Ryo's MAMIYA will be complete. His ears were buzzing. He heard the ragged breathing of a child.
Now, do as I taught you.
His breath echoing through the darkness was warm. No touch was needed to know that. A sin from some other time was touching his immobilized body. And the smell of the salty sea. Seawater so cold it hurt.
How sad. This must be painful. You want to run away as soon as you can. But no matter how much it hurts, you mustn't run away. If you swing it, though, it'll make you feel a bit better.
The invisible darkness changed its shape. His tiny body used its muscles, and Kikuchi Ryo stabbed Suou Keito in the stomach. The searing pain made him scream so loud it threatened to tear his vocal cords. The feeling of the stab was conveyed by the intrusive feeling of the blade in the flesh. It was hot, far too hot. The pain was so acute that Keito felt like he would be twisted in half.
Now, once more.
Suddenly, Kikuchi Ryo's body twitched with intense rejection.
No, I don't wanna. Stop! I don't wanna kill him. He'll die.
But what if you...
But what if you still won't be able to run away?
Then I...
He was about to point the survival knife at himself. Unfortunately, he hadn't realized it was a survival knife. He'd survive.
We find our humor where we can in these moments.
But then an adult arm took it from him. Let's stop there. Okay, Samijima?
Very well.
He seems to not be fully there, but he agreed regardless. He's bleeding bad. He'll die eventually anyway.
Then let's come back at dawn.
Are you sure, ED? Didn't you say you loved seeing the exact moment when people die?
I did I? I sure said some awful things back then.
After throwing a glance at Suou Keito, writhing in agony, Samejima closed the door.
Keito, I'm so sorry. Please don't die.
Ryo, listen. The boy took his hand and nodded as firmly as he could. Let's run away, together.
Huh?
Let's do it, Ryo.
I can't. Nothing good will come from it.
Samejima, he purposely forgot to lock the door. I think this may be our final chance. It's a test. He's always had a weakness for me.
But you're bleeding so much.
Ryo. Keito touched the boy's cheek with a hand covered in the blood from his stomach. Let's run.
Please don't die.
I won't, thanks. Keito wanted nothing more than to let the boy escape. That day was very cold and had record-breaking snowfall. The two went out in light clothing, and the intense fragments of frost covered them until they were cloaked in white. It was more than enough to slow down a wounded youth and a small child.
You mustn't run away.
Within this world of white and silver, he felt as though someone was reaching from behind to grab his shoulder. He couldn't run away. He couldn't run away, and yet... It's snowing so hard. Are you cold?
I am fine.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Keito's blood kept spilling out, and every step made his consciousness fade. Don't worry, we'll run away and survive, I'm sure of it. Even so, he kept up a smile to reassure the boy and continued in a direction where he expected to find people. I will protect you, no matter what. He tightly embraced the boy as his teeth were chattering. Let's keep going. Their silhouettes were followed by a crimson trail made by the wound. They creeped into a grove to stay warm. However, the sheer volume of his blood loss made him collapse on the spot.
Keito! Gotta keep going. We need to get you to a hospital, Keito. Come on!
I won't die. He extended his hands and embraced the boy. He wanted to protect him from the evil blizzard. It's okay. Everything is going to be okay. He brought the boy's head closer to his chest and did his best to speak in a warm tone. Through the back of the boy's head, he felt the trembling of his jaw. He might have no longer had the strength to face the blizzard with a child in his arms. His consciousness turned hazy. His hearing had grown weaker as well, and his own heartbeat made the pain flare up. Every breath seemed to shatter more and more of his hopes. I'm gonna die, he thought. There seemed to be no end to the snow. In fact, his back gradually turned wet from the layer of snow piling up on it. He felt as though cold water was gathering at his feet and gradually reached his throat. The countdown to his death wasn't stopping. I'm gonna die.
I'm cold.
The voice from within his arms made him open his eyes wide. Who would protect them? He wondered. The feeling he'd once felt toward those who were weaker than him. It brought back a warmth deep within his heart. When we get home... His husky voice was anything but reassuring, but it was the best he could do. I'll write letters. Lots and lots of letters. It was to give him hope for life. Where could we go? A warm place would be nice. A tropical island with palm trees. It was so that his future would continue. There are many fun things waiting for us. There's much that the world wants to tell, to both you and me.
Keito, you!
I'll write letters. So you won't be lonely even when you go back home.
Hey! Are you okay?
Huh?
Ambulance is close. Put this on. Hang in there.
Keito.
Over here. Over here. There's an adult and a child.
Keito.
Upon waking up at the hospital, Kikuchi Ryo was by himself. You're Kikuchi Ryo, right?
Huh? Yeah.
We're the police. We're on your side. Do you understand?
Yes.
I'm sorry, the shock must have been really bad, but we'd like to know what happened that day.
Huh?
Kikuchi Ryo?
I don't know. Oh, it happened because I ran away.
He thought.
I don't really know. Because I ran away that he... I don't remember much of what happened back then. I shouldn't have run.
It was the morning after that night. Kikuchi and Suou were found on a snowy path, two youths lit by the morning sun, the cold form of children with futures. Suou Keito was embracing Kikuchi Ryo, protecting him from the snow. I guess this is how the works of Rubens look outside a painting. Suou Keito's side profile was shining. No matter how beautifully you tried to describe it, a corpse was a corpse. Seeing them as divine was sacrilege toward the dead. But what was sublime here? Their rage, indignation, sadness, and helplessness, all their feelings died at once. It took witnessing a death, but they finally came to their senses.
Goodbye.
Yep. That winter morning, the two swore never to meet again.
What the And that is how it all went. Do you remember now? Oh, you're unconscious. I suppose I rushed it a little. My bad. Up you go.
Samejima Satoru picked up Kikuchi Ryo's unconscious body and bent his large frame to get him out of the Ferris wheel.
You must be quite tired. Not everyone falls asleep in a Ferris wheel.
He left the amusement park with a smile on his face and Kikuchi Ryo in his arms.
When will you wake up, I wonder? I should tell him to come pick you up. Just remember that he's carrying Midori, who's also sleeping. How charming that both brother and sister took an afternoon nap. I'll take you to your home, then. No need to worry, I'll pick you up later.
As he was being carried, Kikuchi Ryo was actually somewhat conscious. He could feel the dark clouds above covering the amusement park. He could also feel the atmosphere being heavy with moisture. And he could even feel this man handling him more gently than he had expected. Even so, he wasn't able to fully wake up. After all, doing so would cause an immense flood of memories to overwhelm him. The floodgates of the dam he'd been subconsciously maintaining were opened by Samejima Satoru.
Oh, God.
Placed between memories like compressed earth and lead, he found himself barely able to breathe.
Well, that was awful.
Yeah, huh?
Jesus Christ. I don't even have a joke I want to make right now. I just kind of want... I'm going to sit with that for a little bit. Ay. Just when I thought it could have... I mean, okay, you know what? At least it wasn't cannibalism.
Yeah,
At least...
it was gonna be, but it wasn't.
At least it wasn't cannibalism. It was going to be, but it wasn't. And I think we can all take... There's your t-shirt. Print that one. At least it wasn't cannibalism. Goodbye, everyone.
Peace.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.